All right, let's get right into it. You've probably seen Larry Kudlow on TV, maybe you know him from the White House, but I promise you, his backstory is one of the wildest you'll ever hear. We're talking a complete, total crash, and then an absolutely unbelievable rebirth. See, long before he was talking economics with presidents, the guy hit absolute rock bottom. I mean, he lost it all, like everything. Okay, we're about to break down exactly how he crashed and burned. So, look, if you love an insane comeback story, you're in the right place. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now, because you are not going to want to miss this.
All right, Chapter 1, the Wall Street Wipeout. I mean, to really get the comeback, you've got to understand just how spectacular the fall was. Back in the 80s and 90s, Kudlow was a huge deal. He was the chief economist at Bear Stearns, literally at the center of the financial world.
And in his own words, he got caught up in the zeitgeist. So what does that even mean? Well, just picture it. Wall Street in the 80s. The money, the stress, the parties, that whole culture of excess. And for Kudlow, that lifestyle spiraled into a really serious addiction to cocaine and alcohol.
And, well, the consequences? They were brutal. By 1994, the whole thing just imploded. He was forced out of his job at Bear Stearns. Yep, fired. Just like that, his career was completely toast.
Now, get this. This quote, it's just, wow. This wasn't some tabloid headline. This came from his own wife, Judy, in the actual court papers she filed for divorce. She said he was desperate for cash and on a steady cocaine binge. I mean, that's as rock bottom as it gets.
But, sometimes when you hit the absolute bottom, that's where the turning point is. And for Kudlow, that moment was an intervention. But the person who actually stepped in, well, it's probably the last person you would ever guess.
Yeah, it was Judy. The very same woman who was filing for divorce was the one who saved his life. She organized an intervention, and in 1995, she got him into a residential treatment program.
And I think this just shows you how close to the edge they really were. I mean, she had the papers filed. She was ready to walk away to protect herself, but she didn't. She never went through with it. She gave him one last chance.
And that one final chance, well, that opened the door for everything that came next. So, Part 3, A Second Chance. This is the story of how he literally rebuilt his entire life from scratch. So the key thing to get here is that this was not some quick fix. It was a serious process, right? It started with that intervention from Judy. Then came a really tough 5-month rehab program. After that, he found faith. And somehow, against all the odds, they saved their marriage. Yeah, a massive part of this whole transformation was finding faith. Kudlow was born Jewish, but in 1997, a couple of years after getting sober, he converted to Catholicism. He talks about how that shift really helped him embrace personal responsibility again. And this isn't just some story from the past. His commitment is still happening right now. Just look at this number. To this day, every single week, Larry Kudlow goes to 4 to 5 12-step meetings. 4 to 5 every week. That's an incredible ongoing dedication. And he knows it too. In his own words, he just says, "I'm so blessed because I got a second chance in my life." He's fully aware that, yeah, the crash and burn was pretty awful. Okay, so after the crash, after the recovery, what do you get? You get Kudlow 2.0. This is the comeback. I mean, the turnaround here is absolutely mind-blowing. Just think about this. He went from being fired in disgrace from Wall Street to becoming the director of the National Economic Council. The guy advising the President of the United States on the economy. That isn't just a comeback. That is a complete reinvention of a person. And his past wasn't something he hid in the White House. He actually talked about it with President Trump. And for Trump, who lost his own brother to alcoholism, this stuff hits close to home. Kudlow put it perfectly. It's very personal to him, and it's very personal to me. Which leaves us with this one big question, right? To go from addiction and public ruin all the way to presidential advisor. Is that a kind of redemption story that could only happen in America?
So what do you think? Is it possible to come back from pretty much anything? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to know. And hey, if you dug this story, make sure you're subscribed for more just like it. Thanks for hanging out.